Shalom, family. Shalom, real quick. I was in my prayer time, and I just thought about something real quick. I'll be very brief. It's cold outside. Look, and I'm not where I normally record in the house, so it's okay. Just look out the window. Um, Real quick. I found that a lot of times, and I found this out during my prayer time, we have people who were actually raised in the church, okay? And when I say raised in the church, we go to church every Sunday, which we really supposed to be worshiping on Saturday. But remember what I always say, that's a whole nother video. So, okay. We have people who attend church on Sundays. That's your business. And because you was raised up in the church, you feel as if, my relationship with God is rock solid. That's your business. So, Abba will send you a word or tell you or speak to you and you miss it. Because you really don't even know the voice of God. You really don't know it. You're not going to admit to it, but you really don't know it. And if your mother tell you something, your father tell you something, the aunt that you respect tell you something, maybe you'll listen to your sisters and your brothers. I don't know. But we'll just say that these are the people who usually come to you and they say, hey, such. And then they'll be like, oh, okay, that's what y'all do. But sometimes Abba will send you a messenger. He would send you a message through someone. It could even be a little child. But some of you are so in your own ways that you can't even receive it when he sent it to someone that's not even in your bloodline. And then there are those of us that we try to put Abba on a shelf. We put him on a shelf, and then, we bring him down whenever we need something, whenever we're in need. We tend to call on him when we're in trouble, or when one of the kids may be in trouble, or our spouse may be in trouble, our mama, something. Whenever it's a need, that's when we start to call on him, okay? But this is the big one. A lot of us go to church, attend church. Well, I don't, but you do. And when I say I don't attend, I was brought up in the church. But I am woke now. And by me being woke, I do fellowship. And I fellowship on the correct day, which is the actual Sabbath, which is known as the Shabbat. Whole nother teaching. Continue your Sunday worship. Do what y'all do. But what I wanted to come on here and say is we try to mix our worldly thoughts and what we want to do, which is Luciferian. Then we try to also mix it in with a little, we think we're mixing it in with God, but it's really religion. Oh, God asked me to do this, that, and the other, but, he'll understand. Instead of me doing that, this ain't the time for me to be ministering. This ain't the time for me to, the calling that he is wanting me to walk in. It's not time, it's not a good time for me. And not to mention, I'm a shy person. I don't want to do that. Now, technically, you don't know what he's asking you to do. Because some people feel like whenever they're called to ministry, the first thing that you assume is, oh, I got to get up in a pulpit. Who said he was going to send you in a pulpit? These are the lies that we have been raised to believe in. There is a whole ministry out here. I mean, a complete ministry. Everybody is not going to be packed up in these churches. And actually, he's calling us up out of these churches. Because the spirit of Ichabod is in there. He's gone. He has left the building. All these annual days and, oh, you got to serve the pastor day. Then you have the church anniversary day. Then you have a day for everything. And then for those that attend the big worship centers, they always working on something. So they got to take up an offering for that. The pastor has to have an airplane. I don't understand. If Yeshua HaMashiach, our Adon, which is Jesus, if he was on a donkey, why your pastor have to be on an airplane? If he called a ministry, shouldn't he want to be amongst the people? Oh, well, I'm trying to get through the crowd and there's so many people that I can't. I got to be on a private plane because, it's just too much. This is your assignment. This is your job. This is what you're called to do. If that's the case, schedule a flight at a time when you already know too many people are not traveling. You can do that. But that's not even where I want to go. But anyway. So, what we tend to do, we want to play over here in the world, which is Luciferian. That really is Luciferian. I ain't joking about that. It is. And then we want to turn around. And I'm not saying that, you can't have any fun. But most of the time, you all know what I'm talking about. The fun that we trying to have. I mean, whether you go to church on a Sunday, Saturday, Thursday, it don't matter, Wednesday. You know what I'm talking about. The fun that we trying to have, that we ain't supposed to be doing that. I mean, nobody. No matter what day you worship, no matter what day you going into wherever you go. But I say that to say this. You're trying to mix two things that's not going to mix. You would never get Abba to say, okay, I'll give in to Lucifer. That doesn't happen. He created him. When he say that he's King of Kings and Lord of Lords, that's exactly what he means. When you choose to go in the opposite direction of what he's telling you to go, he say, okay, that's fine. But remember, I created you. And you are listening to something that I created. And that fell from grace. Because why? Lucifer was created to worship, to be up in the heavens. But he got besides himself and decided, oh, okay, well, I can do this thing better than you. I said, oh, okay, you can? Yeah. And guess what? That's the voice that many of you are following. That is the spirit that most of you are following. The demonic spirits, y'all are following Lucifer, Luciferian things. And it may not be you, but it could be your spouse. It could be your prodigal child. I mean, it could be someone that you know. They think because, I'm going to church and I'm at church. And, I go to church and I attend this church and this, that, and the other. Oh, yes, and this is my pastor. And that's funny how you'll sit up here and you give more reverence to that pastor, which is dead wrong, okay? Oh, yes, a pastor. Oh, yes, pastor. But don't you know that the one who created you, he sees everything that you do? You ain't even trying to hide nothing from him. And he the one that's going to determine how you get up out of here. He is the one who's going to determine whether you're going up or down. He is the one who will determine what your life will be here. Your pastor can't do nothing for you. And then soon as something happens, oh, let me go to pastor. If you all knew what some of these pastors was into, trust me, you don't want them praying for you. If you knew the lifestyle that some of them was living, you would not want that. And this is not a message to bash pastors. That's a whole nother video. But what I am saying is, stop putting your faith in man and start praying for yourself. I don't care if you say, I don't really know how to pray. It don't matter. Just get to talking. Just get to talking to God. Talk to him. Just talk. Don't worry about no form. Don't worry about no form. He'll come back. You can correct that. He'll get you right on that. Don't even worry about that. Just start talking to him. Start praying for yourself. This is the time to start praying for yourself. Stop asking people to pray for you. This wasn't even what my message was about this morning. But stop asking people to pray for you. Pray for yourself. Listen to me. Start praying for yourself. I'm telling y'all, you all don't know what people are into. These people be into a lot of things. I'm telling y'all, don't do it. And a lot of people say, oh yeah, I pray for you. And don't you know those people, it has happened to me. I've told people, oh yes, I will pray for you. And I really did forget. Now, it's been a couple of years ago. But now when people ask me to pray for them, most of the time I go ahead and I do it right then. If I don't do it right then, I try to make me a little note so that in my prayer time, which is between 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning, 12 midnight to 5 o'clock in the morning, I remember. I have my little notepad. And it's an honest mistake that people can make. But pray for yourself. He will honor your prayers just as fast as he will your pastor. And stop saying first lady. There's no position as a first lady. It's no such thing. I know that that's shocking to a lot of you. But there is no position as a first lady. I'm telling you, we're about to come up on a time where I'm telling you, he about to expose all of this. He don't want it in these churches. He said that we have drugged all of this stuff that is just fleshly in these churches. He said it. I mean, they just obsess him because we keep using his name. He said he shares his glory with no one. He means what he says. He shares it with no one. So who's getting the honor in these places? You cannot have a pastor anniversary up in there. Now you can have an anniversary for your pastor at your house. That's fine. You can have you can allow what you consider as your first lady. You can let her come over to your house and call her first lady in your house all you want to, and give her all kind of gifts or whatever. That's your business. But in the house of God, these things cannot happen. All these usher anniversaries, deacon anniversary, ministry days, and all that. Y'all better stop this. Y'all better cut it out. Just cut it out. But anyway, that ain't even where I was going. What I was saying was, and this is the message. You want to have your form of religion where, yeah, you know, you show up at church and then you just sit up there like a bump on a log, because a lot of people that we know, okay, because it ain't us, it's people that we know, will sit up in church. You won't even have the decency to say amen, you know, whenever something, you know, that you're in agreement with, okay? But you sit up there real quiet. But if a football game going on, oh, you yelling, you hollering, you know, you done prepped and everything, got the drinks in your car. Most of y'all drive around with alcohol in y'all vehicle in the trunk and think that people don't know it, but people know that you moving with a traveling ball. I ain't even worried about it. Not going to do a video about it. Just leave it alone. So, but when you get in church, you just sitting there quiet. Like the Lord ain't never did nothing for you. He saved you. He woke you up that morning. But just sit there. Then as soon as you leave out that church and jump in your vehicle, you be like, whew, now that that's over, you back to sinning. And don't get me wrong, yes, we all sin because we're in these bodies, but you already know that you have not changed. You ain't tried to change nothing. You just went and just showed up, and guess what? He knows that. That's why he said, many of you, us, sit up in these churches and we thinking that we sitting up here playing a game with him. He said, we're not playing no game. That's the message. You're not playing a game. You think that you're playing a game. So, when your life start falling apart, you lose that job, Finances start drying up. People that was once there for you is not there for you no more. Kids start acting up. I mean, it just could be anything. And some of this stuff is just life. But some things happen. Why? Because we're not what we're supposed to be. We're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. And he's calling us to come higher and we're not listening. We're trying to drag the world in with a spiritual thing. And that's not going to happen. You're trying to bring Lucifer in with God. That's not going to happen. Because he does not make side deals with Lucifer. He does not. And I'm telling you this out of love. I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. And I had to correct it. I had to. I wasn't coming on here this morning. I was still in my prayer time. I've been up. I'm tired. I want to lay down. I want to go back to sleep. Probably won't. I'll probably just go ahead and have me some coffee and just chop this one up. But just be mindful. Just be mindful. Do a self-evaluation. Just do a self-evaluation. Take the past out of it. Take the church, take your church out of it. Just take it out, okay? And just evaluate the real relationship that you have with Christ. And for those of us that's on here that's already doing it, take the video and just talk to someone else about it. If I may have said anything, just take whatever. Just take whatever and talk to somebody that you may know. Just talk to them. Don't fuss at them. Just talk to them. Just find a way to, kind of talk to them. Every little bit helps. But anyway, have you a very nice day, family. Shalom.